Hey everyone, welcome back to Open. And now we welcome back our last guest. We welcome our last guest back. Oh, I'm excited about this. He's a spoken word artist, musician, and author, Christian Morant, who frequently performs all over the city at venues such as the legendary New York Poets Cafe, to intimate spaces of So Far Sounds. He's known for his enthralling level of poetry and advocacy on mental health. His proudest milestones are the release of his acclaimed book, Growth, embracing the TEDx stage, and now the release of his new album, I Am Not a Rapper. Everyone, please welcome back to Open, this time in studio. That's why I'm so excited. Please welcome spoken artist, musician, and author Christian Morant. And yes,
Thank you, Rena.
yes,
you.
yes.
It's amazing to finally be here.
Well, it is really refreshing to be able to actually exchange in person, right? After having that opportunity to hold space for each other during a very, like, as I said earlier, it was challenging, and I want to say transformational because we were all holding on for each other.
Yep.
Right, and so just to give some context to what I'm sharing, the last time we had you on, it was a virtual interview. It was in what I called my Chari studio, Chari Executive Suites. And at that time, the show was called Open RXBX because it was basically the remedy of the pandemic.
But you still did an amazing job. Like
I appreciate that. Thank you. And I'm taking us back there because at that time, it was kind of like towards the tail end of the pandemic. If there is ever a tail end of the pandemic, because now it's just something we live with, as far as, like, you know, our immune system and the resistance, like everything else in life. Okay, I'm going off track.
It's okay. Hey, it was a time. It was definitely a time, so I get it.
And you were in preparation to present on the TEDx stage.
Yes. That that was remarkable. My energy was through the roof. You can ask anybody backstage at that time. I was zipping around. A woman came up and just like held my hand right before I went on, and it really just was grateful that I was there and just gave me loving energy. So back to what you were saying, to be together, I wholeheartedly like agree with that. There's nothing like this physical energy that we're exchanging. But to do one of my poems, or three of my poems actually, in front of a room of 1,000 or more was wild.
Yeah, and you went back to your hometown, South Carolina, right?
Yes.
It was in the concert hall, right?
Yes, Charleston Music Hall, yeah. I actually split my time between here and there quite often now. Yep.
Oh, look at you.
Well, I miss home, but I also love it up here, man. I got family in both places, so.
No, it's beautiful. And at the time when I did that interview, you had just released Growth.
Yes, actually. The day I did TEDx, I put out Growth, my book, and that was phenomenal as well. I got off the stage and I had to go get more books from the car, and it was just flying off the shelves, and it's been exciting.
Well, congratulations on that. And it's so exciting to have you return, having had the experience for us to now speak of in the past.
Yes.
And since then, aside from the music that you're going to also share with us, I understand you illustrated a children's book.
I did. I Belong. This was not in the cards, on my own cards that I thought of. You know, we all have milestones, we all have things we want to strive towards, but then my dad approached me. He wrote this and I illustrated it. He approached me sometime last year, and I am very grateful I got to be part of this. It covers inclusivity, anti-bullying, and a mirage of other things too. And it's a children's book.
And neurodivergent.
Yes. My brother, and so it's dedicated to him as well. And it's been a wild journey. We actually released it a week before I put out the album that we're going to talk about.
Oh my! You've been very, very busy.
Yeah, either me or my dad keeps me busy with all the stuff we do. So he had a book himself too.
That's awesome, right? And then there's the purposeful way of creating and crafting and narrating and storytelling. And obviously we already introduced you as a mental wellness conscious creator, right? but now you're touching upon the next generation in a way of really conditioning this transformative way of thinking and understanding that we don't all look the same.
Yeah, yeah. I actually
And we don't all learn the same.
correct. That's why this isn't just a children's book. I had talked with my dad like the other day. This is also for adults. Like I enjoy reading this just as my other poet friends I introduce at poetry events. Actually had someone step away last week and said, "Hey, I really enjoyed this, and I love how it's not just one color or another color, it's shades of colors, because that's what we are as humans. We're shades."
Yes,
So, yeah.
yes, it definitely touches upon the hues, baby, the
Yeah,
hues.
yeah.
Well, and also hair. I read a part in there that had
Yes.
to do with the texture, hair,
Yep.
the hair texture,
Yeah.
which is another topic of
I actually
discussion in
wanted to
this
call
episode.
out your previous guest, Cynthia. Her story touched me because I realized when I was younger, I was very susceptible to wanting to be accepted, and I ended up shaving my hair actually to freshman year of high school as like a rebellious thing, and wanted it to be wanted. And go to that transformative period a few years ago, I went back to being me, and so I just let my hair grow back out, and it feels phenomenal. So I commend Cynthia and the things that she's doing as well.
Oh, well, I commend you for like just being self-expressed. And no, because it's important that we hear from every aspect, right?
Yeah.
So the fact that you're sharing in this authentic manner of like, my hair comes with me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. Just like yours.
Yeah,
We're both
yeah.
rocking the curls today.
Listen, we're not going to get into my situation with the hair and the field.
It looks good. It looks good. It looks good. You're embracing it. So.
No, I've been.
Yeah,
I've
exactly.
Been, no, I'm a rebel.
Yes. Amen. 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 Amen.
Since the beginning.
Well, I had a journey to go through.
Well,
so.
no, I went through that journey too. There was a time where I had really short hair and I would straighten it just for maintenance purposes because nobody taught me how to manage it.
Yeah.
But eventually I learned how to manage it. And now everybody's like, oh, do you perm your hair? And I'm like, no, it's natural.
All natural, baby.
Oh, natural.
All natural.
Exactly. And look
Thank
at
you.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah. But no, so great. So we have the books, we have the next generation, which isn't, like he said, solely for the next generation. It's really probably a book everybody needs to read to understand the world that we collectively prefer to live in.
Yeah.
Right? And so that's why we continue to have these conversations.
Yep.
And that's why we bring our guests into this space with the understanding of like, yes, we all have our differences, but we have more similarities than we do differences.
Yes, indeed. There's nothing more true. Yeah.
Right. And so now from this, you've also decided to now really dive into the music genre.
Yeah.
And even though you titled it, I'm Not a Rapper, I'm like, okay, so then what is he doing?
Yeah.
All right, fine, you're a spoken word artist with music behind you. Fine.
Yeah. Well, I am kind of, it's a play on things. I am kind of rapping on the album, but I never identified with that really, because it's more story-driven lyricism and stuff like that. But I have a bunch of wonderful singers on there that I'm excited about. And yeah, it was an amazing journey. And each of the tracks were filmed live in studio.
Really?
Yeah. So I have each one coming out since the release in December. Each video coming out each month. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. It's been a pretty cool journey.
All right, so talk to us about the journey.
Yeah. I shout out my buddy Jackson Bales. He filmed 11 of the tracks. One of the tracks was done by my other cinematographer, Stephen Masser. And a lot of the people are in Charleston, my hometown, but even some up here as well. And it's just been a very collaborative journey, a bunch of singers and whatnot. And I don't remember when I started writing the songs, but throughout life. And then it finally, I guess, it imploded in this thing that just needed to turn into something more. And I love visuals, so having the film aspect part of it was a big part too.
And so, is it complete?
Oh yeah. No, it's out since December. It's out everywhere.
Okay, it's out since
it's
December
out,
of 2024?
Yes.
Okay, and so this collaboration that you with the musicians and so forth, right? So there's you who could have just done it as a spoken word artist, but something else happened here, right? So that's what I'm really interested in understanding, like that
The transformation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the word of the day.
Yeah,
That's
what I
today's
was like.
thing.
That's what she's getting at with everything. I think it goes back to that transformation. But really, a lot happened once I actually got up to New York. The community aspect in this city is remarkable. And the poetry scene helped me find my voice. It allowed me to reduce my rapping because I was trying to go twice as fast. It allowed me to slow down, really get my message across, and really embrace the collaboration of it all. And that's one of my funnest things about it. It's really, the album's less about me than more like the people that I brought together with it, and that they trusted me and they were there along with the vision. And a big shout out to Jackson Bales, because he was there and ready to film everything, and he did so much editing, and on top of just being a wonderful dad and everything else. And so I really commend him for that. Yeah.
Wow. So there's all these different layers.
Yeah.
You said something about releasing it, right? So
Yes.
you're releasing videos
Yes,
now.
the
Is
live-
that's
The live videos, yes. So there's about, I think, 7 out now. There's 5 more to come. And they're us. What you hear on the album is actually what you're seeing on the video, and vice versa. So it was all live, done in sessions. And so I think what I just released was Love on the Rocks, actually, for Valentine's around that time. It's more on kind of the opposite if you're struggling with love, because as loving Valentine's is, there's some people that may be struggling with it. So,
Right.
I kind of dive into different perspectives on the album, but it covers love, happiness, darkness, just, like any other artist kind of struggling, wanting to express themselves.
and so this is available on all streaming platforms.
Yes, it is. Yep.
And I think it's important that we share with our viewers that you're driven by this mental health awareness
Yes.
component.
Yes.
You yourself shared on air that at some point you suffered from anxiety and
Yeah,
depression.
I used to actually not really, I wasn't fond of New York because I was very overwhelmed as a kid. A lot of that, but I have grown. That has flipped my change. That has changed 180 degrees because it's a beautiful city and of opportunity and of people. But yeah, I was really dark down and overwhelmed with where I was going to do, how I was going to be an artist, and I fell into it. Luckily, I have great role models like my late grandparents, Joey and Linda Morant. Joey was a trumpet player, jazz trumpet player, and then my dad's a musician, and then I have a bunch of other family too. So our influences really matter, and I'm very grateful for that.
I really love that you're even sharing how important art is from a therapeutic standpoint,
absolutely.
and how blessed you have been to been developed in that environment.
It allowed me to create, which is also my shirt. And wanted to actually say, I'm gonna either gift you guys get a growth and a book. You and the producer can fight over which one you want.
Oh, yeah, I like create. That's me. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So there you go.
I get a
that
tee.
and a gift
I don't
book.
know.
So
We're gonna
actually,
have a
I signed this, so
conversation.
somebody's gonna get this.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about that
Well,
off
somebody's
air.
gonna get that too. Somebody's gonna get that too. So
Well, I don't think this is gonna fit her. So.
I got a couple of different sizes. So
Oh, okay,
we're good.
Well, thank you for
of
coming
course.
and bearing
Yeah.
gifts.
Yeah,
I
of
love
course.
that. This is definitely a great slogan for me because this is what I do all day, every day.
Yes, as we all.
In every aspect of my life. So, and I understand what that is to live in an environment where creating and crafting is like the function of the day.
Yeah.
And I have an offspring who is also in the field now,
Oh, heck yeah,
and she's in a different genre. But the idea is that it's just a joyful way.
It's
to
therapeutic,
exist.
like you said, therapeutic. It drives us, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's opening up that consciousness and realizing that, and I'm going to close with this. We are the writer, we're the creator, the writer, or the co-creator, we should say. Co-creator, writer, director, and star
Of our own lives. Yes.
Okay? Christian Morant, everyone!
Thank you.
Once again, Christian Morant is going to perform for us after the break that you don't want to miss, so don't go anywhere. Hey everyone, welcome back to Open, here now to perform Mother Manhattan. Let's give it up for Christian Morant.
What is it about Manhattan and the Bronx that attracts me to her? Is it the way that she doesn't mind me calling her home? The way she is quick to give me direction, to give me guidance and grace, but also courage? The courage to be my own person while cherishing the help that I receive from strangers on street corners. The humility to embrace an unfamiliar face and smile at those who may be less fortunate. The confidence to mingle with musicians you've never met prior to meandering about the maze that is a metropolitan masterpiece. Or could it simply be her towering gaze, her seductive frame, how she calls me out at night to play? Amongst all the misfits, misunderstood, and misrepresented artists of today, how she shouts my name while waiting for me to catch the train, or lights up the block so I don't feel so afraid. Afraid of being alone in the city full of opportunity. Bombarded by beggars and broken dreams, fame and get-rich-quick schemes. A jungle made out of concrete but built atop the backs of the fragile and the meek. The ones willing to do the dirty work so you can keep your hands clean. The same ones strong enough to admit that they're weak. Pour their hearts out on stages like these, where we are embraced by Rena, Valentine, and BronxNet families. From Washington Heights to Houston Street, upper to lower, west to east, and everything in between is what I breathe. Because while I am bred from the beaches of Charlestown, it is the beauty of Broadway that brings me barreling back into the arms of such an industrious island, where palm trees are made from skyscrapers, sand out of sheets of snow, and country grammar is replaced with non-erotic narratives about your mother, Manhattan. Thank you, Rena.
Christian Morant, everyone!
Thank you.
Woo! Once again, that's Christian Morant. And even though he was rapping Mother Manhattan, I Am Not a Rapper is out now on all streaming platforms. And if you're interested in any of his books, be sure to visit ChristianMorant.com. That is our show today, mi gente. Thanks to all our guests for coming through, to you, our viewers, for tuning in. If you missed any part of the show, you can check out this episode throughout the weekend and 24 hours a day at BronxNet.tv. I'm Rena Valentin, and from all of us here at Open, may the universe provide paz, prosperity, y amor, and happy Women's Herstory Month. Mother Manhattan.